Oh, nice. You like the party.
Yeah, well, the next part's the real party. It's got a 463 final drive. So,
holy crap.
Yeah. It flies through the gears. You know, you grab second right out of the 60 foot, and you're putting it in fourth by the time you go across the 8th mile.
Hey guys, I'm Josh Brown.
And I'm Jordan Stevens.
And you're watching the Cars and Health Bars podcast. Let's get right into the episode. Hey guys, I just wanted to jump on here before this interview gets started. I just want to say we had so many technical difficulties going into this, so the audio quality is very, very, very bad on mine and Jordan's end. Reason being, Andrew, we went through so many technical difficulties, we didn't bother, reminding him, hey, you might want to put some earbuds in, so you can hear us through his laptop. And unfortunately, that was kind of the best way for the conversation to sound decent, was to just let us play through his laptop instead of trying to chop it up, and it's just, that's just the way it happens. So we'll have Andrew back on in the future, and it'll be a much better interview. But I think this went great. I think this is an awesome interview. Andrew, if you're watching this, I can't thank you enough for joining us. This is a great discussion, whether you are a car guy, gamer, or both. Both get discussed in great detail, and this is not one you're going to want to miss. And without further ado, I will throw it into this interview. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Cars and Health Bars. Today, we are joined by Andrew Cameron of GPI. How are you doing tonight, Andrew?
Hey, man, I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
I can't complain.
Oh, man. This has been a very excited interview for us. We've just been so fired up and anticipating this. We set it up so long ago. It's so great to actually get you on here because, we'll talk about it in the episode, but you just align with so many of our qualities as, like not only just gamers, but car guys. Like, of course, got the Fitchin Camaro right behind you. But I want to get into a little bit of your background first off. I want to know kind of like how you got into performance cars, how you landed at GPI, all that good stuff.
Sure. Well, I think performance cars probably stretch from my mom's dad. He was always into racing. He was a NASCAR guy. Grew up watching him watch NASCAR races and watch that stuff. And then he I like dirt track racing a lot. And I live in a tiny little town that's got a great dirt track in it. We run big block modifieds here in the Northeast is our kind of our specialty. And so grew up going to the track and seeing high performance stuff, there. And then as soon as I could get my hands on my own stuff, I started fiddling around with cars. And even before then, I had dirt bikes and pulling tractor and stuff like that. So just kind of all stemmed from my grandfather, though. He was always pushing that agenda a little bit. He never had like hot rod cars himself, but he was always helping other people with their stuff. And he was a mechanic and a welder by trade, and
Nice.
kind of comes from all that.
What would you say is the first serious build you got into?
Well, I don't know what makes for a serious build. I had a lot of stuff that I filled it around with. I couldn't have a car and leave it stock or leave it however I bought it. So I did a lot of like bolt-on stuff, just daily drivers that I would have. Like I think the first car that I put headers on was a Pontiac Grand Am that had a 6-cylinder in it. I had long tubes on it and a cutout. It was loud. It wasn't fast, but it was loud.
That's half the
I feel like that's where you start out, though,
Yeah, for sure. And I've had this is a fourth Camaro I've had a couple of third gens and a fourth gen, and I guess maybe my second third gen was an 86 Berlinetta, and that had a 305 with a cam converter gear. I wouldn't call it a serious build, and again, it certainly wasn't fast, but it was fun, and it was definitely not stock. So probably that car would be my first build.
That's kind of funny. I just sold my Berlinetta. Mine was an 82. I was 350 swapping it, but it just wasn't for me. I had to give up on the project. But that's kind of funny, man. we align on somebody.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I think third gens are why I got into Camaros. My first Camaro was an 87 IROC. That was a two-port 350 car with an automatic. That was the first 40 any kind of car that I'd had. And that stoked those fires that kind of never went out from that point. So been through a lot of different cars since then, but always Camaros were kind of at the heart of it.
I love that.
So you're mainly a General Motors kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not what do they say, dyed in the blood or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm an equal opportunist. If somebody makes a good car, like I'm into it. I've never really had any cool Fords. I guess that's not true. I had a Contour SVT, and probably only like 3% of the
Okay.
world knows what that is. It's basically like a baby Taurus show that's got a really high revving V6 in it with a 5 speed. Special vehicle team worked those cars over, and it was just another, just not particularly fast but fun, neat car.
I wanted to ask you, how did you end up at GPI?
Well, so I was a GPI customer before I was ever a GPI employee. I bought my cam kit for the 5th gen behind me here in 2018. I'd gotten to know of GPI through the Camaro 5 forum. And Ryan was really active on the forum back then. That was back in the heyday of the GPI versus TSP, stock bottom end wars.
Yeah.
And GPI was killing the game then. GPI is still killing the game, but they were really aggressively going after that stuff. And their off the shelf cams were just the biggest, baddest stuff you could get, and that's what I wanted for my car. So I'd actually talked a little bit with Aaron on there about maybe testing out the original Max package, the first version that came out, and we had gone back and forth, and we couldn't make it work. I'm a long ways from Arkansas, where I live up in New York, and that didn't come together. But I bought my SS3 cam kit from there, and so didn't get to know those guys too well, but started following closer on their socials and all that stuff. And in spring of 2020, Ryan had posted something. They were hiring another inside sales guy, or replacing someone. And I just jokingly put a message in his thread and said, "Hey, give me a shout when you're ready to hire a remote sales consultant." And 3 minutes later, I had a little instant message come up from Ryan. He's like, "Hey, you serious?" I said I was, and they were putting together their affiliate program then. And so that's where I got my start in sales with them.
That is
Cool.
that is really cool. Going back to like talking about, I feel like that is the heyday, like you said, of like chasing the cam specs. I feel like just LS cams is such a competitive market because of TSB, BTR, GPI. I mean, it seems like everybody is chasing that. Like, what cam do you use for what combo? And I might make a few people mad, but the guy who's specking out my build ended up putting a GPI cam in mine. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it for sure is a saturated market, right? I mean, anybody that knows anything knows that LS stands to pick up so much just from a few simple bolt-ons and a camshaft. So
Yeah,
everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar with that one. And yeah, you're right.
for sure.
The 20 teens were the heyday where the technology was really moving forward on those camshafts. The cam specs changed a lot. If you look at like a cam from 2010 to a camshaft now, they got more lift in them. They've gotten more aggressive with the duration. They've really kind of explored the limits of what you can get away with in these platforms. And they've grown a lot. Everybody's has grown. I think GPI was ahead of the curve there. Again, when I bought that SS3 camshaft, that was bigger than most your competitors' stage 4 cams. And so they've all kind of come to us and trying to catch up on the bigger really is better in most of those cases. Not always. I'm not saying a bigger cam's always better, but when you're max effort, yeah, you probably got to use all the clearance you got available, and stuff
Oh
all the
yeah.
overlap you can in.
Yeah, the logo design has really changed a lot.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that people overlook in camshaft design, right? Like, you could take two cams from two different manufacturers, and maybe they got the same valve events, right? They got the same duration,
Yeah.
the same lobe step advance, all that. But the lobe design has a huge responsibility in how well that camshaft is going to perform. There's a fine line between getting the valve open quickly, but not so quickly that you're tearing the valve train up. And then again, the way you carry that over the nose and then back down, it's all very, very subtly important to keeping it stable, but keeping it aggressive. Fine line in there.
Yeah, and one thing's for sure, man, is cams are way ahead of where they were, and I'd say even cylinder heads.
I'd agree. I mean, look at Brian's new heads, right? Like, that's proof that we're still advancing to this day. The
Yeah.
cannon valve head is taking the market by storm right now, and rightfully so. It's an incredible product, and it's kind of the first major advance we've seen in a few years. I would say, prior to that, medium bore stuff, our max package was really competitive, and there's a few other really good heads out there, and some of the like 11-degree stuff is nice because it
Yeah.
picks you up clearance while dropping the chamber size, and that's always the trade-off, right? That you want to mill your stock heads. Well, that's great, but you've only got so much clearance to play with. Are you going to fly cut the
Yeah.
thing? You got aftermarket pistons. If it's stock bottom end, you've only got so much to work with.
I feel like you guys have always been like the kings of cylinder head porting. Like that's always what I see is like, you guys not only that, but the intake porting too. Like you guys seem to be the go-to market, at least in our area, for cylinder head porting and intake porting.
Yeah, well, the guys here are pretty relentless in their pursuit of performance. Whether that's Aaron or Ryan or the guys down at Kuntz in the machine shop. All these guys are kind of racers, either currently or have been, and they really want to go after every last little bit that they can get after. So they've got a lot of their heart in it. They're wanting it to be good first, and then if we can sell some and make a few bucks on the side, that's advantageous for everyone. But having that kind of racing mentality helps you really push forward into every little opportunity you can get.
How pinnacle was it that Brian Tooley picked you all to be one of like the shops that he worked directly with the Porter casting cylinder head, the Porter casting cannon valve cylinder heads?
Well, I mean, it's a huge opportunity, right? Brian's obviously got the next hot thing for the LS. Like I said, it's an incredible cylinder head. It really is a fairly revolutionary design. I mean, canted valves, nothing new, but affordable production casting that you can buy and put on your car without really changing anything else. Major about your combination, just bolt on that kind of additional power. That's a big deal. So being able to work with Brian on that and be one of the first people to get their hands on those heads and start developing our port is a wonderful thing. I'd like to think that Ryan chose us because he felt we'd do a good job with that. We have a good reputation in our community of really getting everything we can out of something while keeping it, reliable and, something that can be mass produced. And I think the port that we came up with for that head's phenomenal. I mean, it's incredible. It's going to be interesting to see as more and more combinations start to come together with that cylinder head. Exactly how well they run. I mean, we've obviously done testing on the pre-production stuff that we worked the port design on, and very excited about all the results we've seen for that. And I've got a handful of guys out there already that we've either finished their heads or we're working on them now. They're putting together some pretty wicked combinations, and they're going to run over their competition.
I got a set that's coming to y'all soon for recording.
I gotta ask, what's the turnaround like?
Well, the cannon valve heads are done in the Kuntz shop, and they're busy guys right now. So it's a small shop, right? It always has been. And we're kind of down a long time guy that's helped us for a long time. He's gotten real sick, and we're sad to see how life is treating him right now. So all that to say, Justin and Brad down there, they're working their tails off. And for your cannon valve heads, usually we're going to be somewhere around that 6-week mark. I think it depends a little bit. Don't quote me. But if we're talking about, just a set of ported OEM heads that we do up at the GPI shop, we've got a head shop in 2 locations, right? We've got the machine shop at Kuntz does heads, but we also do a lot of the OEM castings right up at GPI. And those guys are turning them out pretty quick these days. Usually they're like a 3 to 4 week turnaround time. So depends on what you're getting. Yeah.
I guess so you do before we change gears into I want to talk about the fit chin, of course, but I want to know like a little bit more about the GPI aspect. So what is the craziest customer combo request you've got?
Well, I mean, we see a lot of different stuff, and I think that's maybe one of the neat things about GPI is we're like slightly out of the mainstream, and I think that opens us up to getting approached a little bit more often about kind of racier and more aggressive stuff. I should have prepared better for this question, but I'm thinking of even like some of the custom cam work that I'm doing right now. Like I just had a I just had one recently that was like a truck with it was an LT swap, and the guy wants this thing to idle like stock, like, nobody knows it's got a cam, high lift cam, but he's got like a 3 liter Whipple, and then he's gonna spray like 250 on top of it.
Huh.
So this was interesting. I know, right? So this creates a real interesting camshaft design challenge where I've got to get an absolute ton of exhaust duration in this thing and get that exhaust valve open early because he's going to be just creating an absolute ton of exhaust volume with all the nitrous on top of a boosted motor.
Yeah.
But I can't put any overlap in it because he needs it to idle like stock. So the first cam I designed for this thing, we actually sent it out to Cam Motion, and they were like, "Yeah, we can't make that unless we use a one-off core, which is, by the way, like twice as much money as a regular core." So we had some conversations back and forth with the customer. We landed on a little bit of a compromise that we could get on a standard core, but like that stuff's not uncommon. You got guys that want to build these wild grudge combos that, maybe appear like stock but are anything but. I think those are really interesting. The way those guys try to innovate to hide their stuff and make it run as good as it does is pretty wild.
Yeah. How often do customers chase the wrong mod list?
And I think they do it all the time. I mean, I got a video on my YouTube channel that talks about, high ram versus ported rod mod for like your, Recport LS3, like the one behind me here. And I think I got a lot of gripes about stuff, but the guys that will put a high ram on a car that's got like a 3600 stall, it's got 660 springs on a set of 823 heads, it got the heavy valves in them. I mean, they can't turn that motor over 7,000. It's only going to peak at 7,000. It probably wants to run 7,500 or shift even higher than that, and they'll never get there. So all they've done is buy themselves some peak horsepower, but they've gutted the rest of the curve for it. So
That's so valid. I love that technical aspect. So
Yeah.
you're just like hurting these L99 guys' feelings.
well, I mean, there's a place for it, right? Like we can make a combo that'll flat out rip with that manifold, and the manifold's way better than a ported rod mod. There's no doubt about it, but it's always about the combination. Like you got to have the rest of the stuff in place. If you're not going to give it some gear, if you're not going to put the right converter in it, if you can't turn the RPM that the manifold needs to see, what are we doing? Like, keep it simple. It's not as cool looking though. I mean, I know why guys want to run the high ram. It looks cool. I get it. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so funny. That's gonna make a clip.
Perfect.
Talking about the fifth gen, we could just go ahead and convert into that. And just as a side note, it wouldn't surprise me knowing that you work with my speed shops guys if you were the one that spec'd out my camshaft. Let's talk about that later.
Yeah, we can connect offline. I've only been doing so I feel like Ryan knew that he needed to hand that off to me someday because I was down in 2001. He was showing me like his process for custom grinds and stuff, and I've learned everything I know largely from Ryan, not completely, but it's only in the last couple of months I've started kind of taking over our custom grind side and doing all those specifications. So if it was recent, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, it was it's probably within the last 30 days, maybe 60 days.
Yeah, pretty close then.
Pretty close. Yep. Spinning off on the fifth gen tangent. Of course, our viewers know we are just the biggest fifth gen fans there are. At Jordan background, our logo fifth gen. I mean, we're all about it. I feel like we're a little bit discriminated against because our little, or at least my little speed shop group, they're all like Pontiac guys and slowly turned import guys. Like they just think of the Camaro, fifth gen Camaro, especially as the like poor man's Corvette. I'm like, you know what, valid. I'll take that. But
Sure,
sure.
sure.
I'm still gonna hand out a gap.
Absolutely,
Uh,
man.
why do you think the fifth gen community is so strong? You brought up the fifth gen forum, and I've ventured on there a few times, and yeah, it's a very helpful platform. But you've been in the game a lot longer than me. What do you think makes the fifth gen community so strong?
Well, I think I love that you brought up the Camaro 5, and Camaro 5 has changed a lot. Like, and 10 years ago, when I bought my fifth gen, that place was just popping. It was at its heyday, right? 6, 7 years after that car came out. But backing up even to when the car first came out, I think that's why the community is so strong, as it was the resurgence of the Camaro, right? There was a whole ton of dudes that were just waiting for this car, and the concept came out and everybody was like, oh man, that's incredible. Imagine if they actually deliver on that. And then they did. I mean, the car is not way off of the concept. It's incredible looking. If you look at all the like retro throwback cars before the 5th gen came out, none of them were as well executed as this, in my opinion. You had some of the weird stuff. So I think it made a lot of people really happy, and it certainly sold well. Like there's a lot of them, and I think the demographic that bought these cars bought them to keep them because they really meant something to them. I think that makes the community strong, right? You have long-term owners. It's not guys bought these and had them for 2 or 3 years and then dumped them. You get stories all the time of guys, oh, I've had the car for 10 years or whatever it is, and that makes for a strong community.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like the only downside to the Camaro, and I hate to say anything bad about it, but the I will say they are some heavy cars.
Yeah, man, it's a shame, right? If the car could be 300 pounds lighter, it'd be a rocket ship, or more. I mean, but imagine if it rolled off the assembly line 300 pounds lighter. They are heavy cars. You know what it is? They're big. You park a 5th gen Camaro next to like a C5 or a C6 Corvette, and it just towers over it. It's bigger, it's
I
wider.
don't want to talk about. I'm on stock ride height. That's a touchy subject for me.
It's just a big car, but I mean, it cuts both ways, right? It's an excellent chassis. It's unbelievably stiff. If we're talking purely a drag race platform, yeah, it'd be great if it was lighter, but it's a jack of all trades, right? Like there's a whole community around road racing and autocross in these cars where, although they're a little heavy, they're excellent performers because of what the chassis offers. So yeah, it's heavy though. I'm with you. I've done a lot to try to get weight out of mine, and it doesn't matter what you do, it's still heavy.
Yeah, tube chassis, I guess.
Yeah,
Start getting some money there.
sure.
I want to know package about yours though. Like I don't know if our viewers care, but I gotta know you 1SS, 2SS, 1LE.
So mine's a 2SS RS, 2011.
Nice.
So yeah, it's got all the heavy stuff in it.
Yeah, we feel that. I got mine's a late model, and I got the heads up display, and I got everything heavy.
Yeah,
I got it all.
Hey man,
Mine's a 2010.
when I'm driving home from the track and I flip the heated seat on, I don't have any regrets.
I think I'm in the process of gutting mine. Like I mean gut. I mean I'm not like ripping out the dash of stereo, but like I did delete AC and I'm deleting heat, but I'm keeping my heated seat. All right.
Yeah, I think you can get by without heat as long as the seat works. It won't talk me out of AC though. I gotta be comfortable in the summer.
That's Jordan. Jordan was so disappointed in me, but he wasn't at the same time. So he knew he was getting an extra air compressor.
I'll tell you, I got two buddies.
Let's think about sharing platforms.
I got two buddies that deleted AC 3-4 years ago. Maybe it's 5 years ago now. I think it was last summer. They both put that stuff back in. They were like, yeah, it was fun for a while, but we'll take the weight penalty. We want to be comfortable. Depends on what you use the car for, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna track it, yeah, take all the weight out you can. But if you got to live with it, sometimes you accept some of those trade-offs.
I will say some of those like June cars and coffees were getting pretty toasty. You get to the point where you're sliding around on your own leather seat. It's a little old. What is the current setup on your Camaro? Let's go ahead and tear that bandage off. I gotta know.
Yeah, well, it's nothing special. It's a stock bottom end, LS3 M6 car. It has our GPI. It has our GPI Max package 2.0 on it. So that's a set of Brodix LS7 cylinder heads. So the casting's BR7 from Brodix. And the magic about those is, so it's an LS7 12-degree cylinder head with the raised rec port. And that raised port is awesome. Just a straighter shot down into the valve, better short side corner, all that good stuff. But we work the casting, right? We buy it as a porter's casting rather than buying something that's already hogged out for an LS7. So Max Package 1.0 was a factory LS7 cylinder head that we would essentially kind of retrofit to get on the smaller bore. It was always a compromise, right? The 7 head's got a 2200 intake valve in it, and it maxes out all the space inside the bore, the outer side, the radial clearance from the cylinder wall to the valve is really poor. So it's shrouded. It's not a great combination, and the port's way too big for a 376-inch motor. So we decided when we made the version 2.0, we would make everything the right size for the 4065 bore. So 2165 intake, 1.6 exhaust valve, and then the port is smaller so we can keep the velocity up. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, my port is bigger than your port or this. That's really kind of irrelevant. The port needs to be sized to the rest of the combinations. Like we were talking about earlier, it's all about the combination. So Max 2.0 heads are designed to be perfect on like a stock bottom end LS3 or even a like a 416, but in that 4065, 470 bore size is where they're sweet. You take it all the way down to a 4-inch bore, they work really pretty good even there. And then so that comes with a camshaft that's designed for that cylinder head. And this car, you can see it's still got a stock hood on it. So it's only got but a lowly little LSXR intake manifold on it. Nothing special. It's this was the original test platform for Max Package 2.0 in chassis. Yeah, so this was the first car that ever had that package on it. And so it's all untouched. Like we didn't do anything special to it. There's no fly cuts. We didn't port the manifold. It's simple. It's got a 103 Nick Williams on it, got a Veraram cold air intake, RH headers, nothing wild about it. And it's 11.3 to 1. It made 551 on pump gas on our dyno down in Arkansas, which is pretty good. That's
really good for LS3.
Yeah. Well, especially when it doesn't have a hole cut in the hood and it's not on E85.
Exactly, yeah.
There's plenty of guys that are making upper 500s, but they're making a lot more compromises to get there.
Yeah.
So happy with that. And the car, like I said, it's a 6-speed. It's got a Cloud RXT in it, which is a little unforgiving, but it works good. And it's got a GeForce 9-inch IRS setup in the back with a
nice. Like the party.
Yeah, well, the next part's the real party. It's got a 463 final drive. So
holy.
Yeah, it flies through the gears. You grab second right out of the 60 foot, and you're putting it in fourth by the time you go across the 8th mile. But you know what? It's actually perfect. The car crosses the finish line at about 7,000 or 7,200 RPM. It's just past peak power, so we're getting all the average power we can through all 4 of them gears. I mean, it's by design. Again, it's transmission untouched. Yeah, it has that 1-2. It needs them, updated synchros or carbon blockers or whatever. Transmission guys know what it is. You can't rush the 1-2 shift in it. It's not bad, but it also, I shift the car 7,700 RPM, so there's a lot of inertia at that point. And,
Yeah.
Jordan,
you got like his car if everything didn't go wrong.
Yeah, except from the final gear.
Yeah, except for the final gear.
And the 9-inch too. I ain't got all that.
Yeah, well,
Jordan deleted a piston and deleted an input shaft.
That's not good. Well, I got sick of deleting ring and pinions in the factory rear end. I tell you that one of the first, I bought the car, it had bolt-ons on it. Just had long tubes and an intake and a tune. And I think the first thing I did was put 410s in it. I bought a diff out of another car that already had 410s in it. I think I got a half season out of them, and I broke them. And then I had another set of gears put in it. And I broke those a half season later. And I kind of went through that cycle for a year or two of breaking rear ends. I broke 5. And I swear I'm not that mean to it. I try to be careful with it. It's not like I had it on stick. I never broke at the racetrack. It was always on the street. It was just...
Wow.
I'm convinced that if you work these cars really hard, they just don't have enough rear end in them for manual transmission stuff. Automatic guys, they hold up good, but torque converter is nice and smooth. It doesn't shock load the driveline when you start.
I had an RST in mine, and I got 180K out of that stock diff.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I had a TSP Stage 3 cam.
Okay.
So it's pretty stock engine. Shot engine mounts for forever.
Yeah.
I gotta know, whenever you were having issues out of your rig and pinion, were you ripping on it, or were you just kind of messing, like not doing much on the street?
I mean, every time it let go, it was shall we say under high load. But so one of them, I'll take credit for one of them. Like I banged a no lift 1.2 street tires and the wheel hopped real bad, and that cracked a tooth one time. And maybe the first differential was nobody's fault. It had them Richmond gears in it, and Richmond's never held up well in these cars. I mean, they were the first one to exit the fifth gen ring and pinion market, and I think that's because
Yeah.
I don't know if they got their gear fixed and they couldn't fix their reputation or what it might have been, but they struggled early on. I think they were one of the first ones to do a 410 for this car. But I've broke a set of motives, broke a set of Yukons. I've broken them all. So
I got a set of
Been through
motives
it.
for mine.
yeah, motive's good. Can't get them anymore though. Yukon's the only one
Oh,
left.
really?
Yukon's the only one left doing ring and pinions for these. Well, I shouldn't say only one, but it might be US Gear still does them. But I haven't seen Motive's taking it all out of production. So recently, in the last year or so, yeah.
Some parts are just getting so hard to get a hold of. Like Jordan's running so almost getting some Johnson lifters. It's just like some parts are getting kind of hard to find. Yeah, I hate to loop back to something we weren't talking about, but like
Oh,
even
maybe
like
those Gatorman lifters.
yeah, and like just the increase on parts that are like we were talking. I think maybe with Brian Tooley, like the hauling parts in particular. Like you were talking about the high ram. That tell me a high ram wasn't like $800 a couple of years ago. Now it's just like it's skyrocketed. It's like as much as a Trinity now.
Yeah, I mean, I have really good visibility and all that stuff because I've been selling the stuff for GPI for years now, and
Yeah.
it's like clockwork. Every 6 to 12 months, everything just creeps up a little bit more. And about the availability, man, as soon as COVID hit, everything disappeared and it's never come back. Not. I mean, it's come back, but never been the same, right? There's always delays. There's almost never quite enough supply. It's an ongoing challenge, and customers think we're Amazon, right? Like we're got it on the shelf and
Yeah.
we're gonna ship it the next day, and they'll have it by the weekend, and it just ain't that.
Now, I will say I am really surprised by GPI because, like I said, the speed shop I'm working with, he also moves pretty quickly. I mean, this dude like works ungodly hours whenever he's there. But he texts me, he's like, "Hey man, cam came in or something about the cam." I was like, "You mean you ordered it?" He's like, "No, it's here." I was like, "Are you all right?" Like to my knowledge, like he just spec'd it out like a week and maybe a week and a half ago, and it's already like there. I'm like, you know me, though. I'm a car guy. I'm like, I mean, I'd like to see it, but it came with stickers, right? Like, yeah, you got some stickers.
I would tell you, man, the sticker thing blows my mind to this day. You start talking about stickers, everybody wants one. You know, if I had a list of like one of the most common things that people ask for after they order something, it's
Oh, no shot.
over the phone. Probably 90% of what I do is like by messenger, right? And it's always like, hey, can you make sure I get a couple stickers? No, I tell them the truth. I'm like, man, I don't pack the orders, but the guys usually throw them in if they got them. It makes people's day. They love a sticker.
Oh, dude, like and it's so like it's free advertising for you guys. I don't know
Yeah.
why we're so attached to stickers. Like, I don't care how much that car part costs. It better have a sticker in that package.
You ain't kidding, man. You ain't kidding.
Oh my god, yeah. That's what I tell my bank statement. I'm like, yeah, that $400 camshaft. No, that was a $400 sticker. The camshaft just came with it.
It's a bonus.
Man,
Yeah.
I kind of looked to pitch in one more time. Is
Yeah.
the rear the rear gear? I feel like from factory on those cars should have been a 391 and an SS.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'd say 410. Obviously, I got a thing for deep gear ratios, but yeah, I think you're
Really?
right. Like, I think really a 391 probably wouldn't have hurt the fuel economy in
Yeah,
a
especially
meaningful
with
way.
sixth gear being so far out there.
Yeah. Yeah,
The 391 party gear for sure. I mean, that's a good happy medium, I think.
yeah. I think it would have been everything they needed to pass their EPA tests and their fuel economy, and it would have performed better. So, and they clearly they aren't afraid to do it in some instances. So,
Yeah.
come on, give it to us. I'm with you.
All right. Well, before we switch gears here, I'm going to throw it to an ad read. Guys, if you're a car listener, stick around. We've got some rapid fire questions at the end of the episode. We're going to throw it to an ad break where you get into our gaming topic.
I want to thank Chemical Guys for sponsoring the Cars and Health Bars podcast. If you're like me, you used to just go to the parts house and grab whatever cleaner was on clearance, or shoot, maybe even hit up one of them quarter washers in town. Well, I'm here to tell you you can start living your life different with our sponsor, Chemical Guys. They have kits all the way up from your starter kit for $50, gets you the bare essentials, gets you a bucket, gets you the mitt, some Mr. Pink's soap, all the way up to the Mr. Pink's Ultimate Arsenal. It comes with 3 bottles of spray wax, the foam soap, the brush, the drying towel, the foam can, and the mitt, and your glass cleaner. And let me tell you something, this glass cleaner changed the game for me. Whenever it says streak free, I'm telling you, I used to hit my car with some paper towels and some Windex because that's how you had to do it. This, you can actually use microfiber towel and it gets rid of the streaks. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. I personally use this on my Camaro before I go to car meet. Shoot, I've even used it on the windows in my house, brother. Now, if you want to get real bougie and get real fancy, they of course have all your hydro coat, all your ceramic stuff, clay bars. If you want to really get into that nitty gritty, why hit up a detailer when you can just detail your own stuff? Use a Chemical Guys. They make it so easy and so affordable to get a mass amount of products, and it's everything you need. It takes all the guesswork out of piecing together an arsenal. So with that being said, guys, use our promo code CARS10 to get 10% off your order and check out some Chemical Guys. Send us some pictures of your stuff. We'd love to show it on the show. Our next sponsor is Blackout Coffee, guys. If you work a blue-collar job like me, you know you got to wake up and hit you a cup of joe before you get started. What I like about Blackout Coffee is they have not only the pods, but they also have the whole bags, and they have this cool instant coffee. So if you're running real behind like some of us are most days, me included, you can just dump this into your water and boom, Bob's your uncle. You got some coffee ready for your day. I've used their bagged coffee several times. Me personally, I like a dark roast. I like to put hair on your chest. I like this Brutal Awakening. It's my favorite flavor. Gets me up and going. It's even a good Saturday morning coffee if you're feeling a little sluggish. Speaking of Saturday morning coffees, they also have flavored coffees. So if you like a little more flavor to your coffee, they have blueberry crumble, French toast. Look at that rating, brother. Butterscotch toffee, caramel cream, double dark chocolate, chocolate cherry, and climax. They also have the flavored coffees inside of the pods, so if you want to grab a cup on the go, put your travel mug in. Also, like their mission, they're all about the troops, they're all about giving money back, and they have some of the coolest apparel in the game. So yeah, guys, head on over to Blackout Coffee, pick you up some coffee so you can get your day started just like I do, brother. I want to shout out Reynolds Creek Performance for sponsoring the Cars and Health Bars podcast. If you're in Kentucky or anywhere close and you've got an LS, LT, or Mopar set up and your car just isn't running right, you need to know about this shop, because here's the deal. A lot of people throw parts at the car's can, injector, turbo, whatever, and wonder why it runs like garbage. 9 times out of 10, it's the tune. That's where Reynolds Creek Performance comes in. These guys specialize in actual calibration, not just slapping a base map on your car and sending it out the door. They dial in fuel, spark, drivability, making sure your setup runs the way it's supposed to. They're on a Mustang dyno. You're getting real honest numbers, not inflated dyno sheets. And more importantly, your car's going to run right on the street and not just look good on paper. They work on everything from cammed street cars, boosted setups, and they're big on doing things the right way. That means no shortcuts, no junk parts, no we'll figure it out later builds. If your car is ready, they'll make sure it's right. If you're not local, they even do travel tuning, which is huge if you're trying to get set up dialed in without hauling your car across state. So if you're tired of chasing issues or just finished a build and want it done right the first time, go check them out. You can contact Isaac at Reynolds Creek Performance at 606-706-8330. You can also find him at 3388 Reynolds Creek Road. That's their shop. Or shoot him an email at reynoldscreekperformance@outlook.com. Also, we have them linked down below. Hit them up, support a solid local performance shop, and get your car running the way it should. I want to thank SteelSeries for sponsoring the Cars and Health Bars podcast. If you are a gamer, it is a household name. SteelSeries is one of the best in the business, whether you're looking for earmuffs, microphones, speakers, keyboards, mice, mouse pads, controllers, they've got them. I mean, they've got some of the best mice in the game. Is anybody going to argue with that? I, of course, have the Rival 5. You guys know that. I mean, it's a $50 mouse. What are you doing? Do you not have $50 to spend on a nice mouse? SteelSeries has some of the best stuff in the game. I really like their microphones, too. The very convenient mute button here shows you your volume level while you're talking. Their keyboards, the Apex 7, have you not seen this? Of course, I have one of these, too. What I like most about it is the armrest is magnetic and removable. So whether you're kind of wanting that or not, and their keys are removable, fully customizable OLED display. Don't even get me started on their headsets. They have some of the best headsets in the game. I need to pick me up a set, just $150 for this headset, fully wireless. Their Artis Nova 5 wireless has a 60-hour battery life and quick switch from wireless, so you can pop in and out that battery pack with ease. What else is there to say? For you console guys, they even have earbuds that have console support. They have all different kind of price point headsets. If you want to ball out and get the Artis Nova Elite, all the way down to your $160 to even $100 headsets. And that's $100 for a wireless headset with 60 hours of battery life. Does it get much better? Also have these bundles. If you want to take the guesswork out of it and just buy a whole bundle, SteelSeries has you covered with the mouse, the keyboard, and the headset, and 20% off. Make sure you click the link down in the description so they know we sent you. And I want to again thank SteelSeries for sponsoring the Cars and Health Bars podcast.
We're back. Thanks for sitting through our ad break. I got to ask, Andrew, I found out you were a gamer, and I'm telling you, that was the first thing I told Jordan whenever I secured you as a guest. I was like, brother, you won't, like, this awesome 5th gen owner that also works for GPI is a Battlefield player. I'm like, dude, the icing on this cake is triple thick.
I got to tell you, like, when I first heard Cars and Health Bars, I was like, are we talking about, like, making, like, you know, protein shakes or something? I hadn't seen your art. And so I was like, man, these guys don't know me if they think we're going to talk about health food. I ain't the one. Yeah, no, I was excited when I realized this was gaming. And then when I mentioned Battlefield and y'all lit up, I was like, we really do have a lot in common.
Oh, dude. I got
Where do you
for you.
start?
Yeah. Hold on. I got to know what's your favorite Battlefield before we get into it.
Favorite's got to be Battlefield 4. I got the most hours in that. It's
Not bad.
I still think it's the best overall. I think that Battlefield 6 is pretty good, man. I've been really impressed with it overall, and I think it, you know, obviously 2042 was just atrocious. And it's easy to think 6 is good just after how bad that one was, but and even when you go back and you play one, then you play the other, Battlefield 6 plays really well.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely is a breath of fresh air to the Battlefield community
Yeah.
because of, I feel like 2042 almost had to fail for Battlefield 6 to have this like super hype around it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, and even kind of before 2042, they had started to move away from kind of their core. Yeah, which wasn't terrible. Battlefield 1, not terrible. What was the Cops and Robbers one? I forget what that was called. Yeah, Hardline. None of those were terrible. They weren't. 2042 was legit terrible when it first came out.
Yeah.
I heard that it got better. I played that game for a couple of weeks when it first. I was pre-ordered. I was excited for it. And it came out, and I couldn't have been more disappointed.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy because Jordan, we're PC gamers. Jordan's PC was, it was definitely a later gen PC, but it's weird because he ran the beta test just fine. I mean, like tore it up, had great frames, everything. As soon as he launched the full version, whenever it was full release, unplayable. Like he couldn't even load anything. It
Awful.
was so terrible, man. The optimization was garbage.
Yeah, so many problems. I'm a console guy, or well, it's funny. I've always been a console guy until about 2 years ago. I had somebody build my son who was 12 at the time a gaming PC. It came out really good, and so he started playing all these games on PC, and that's when I kind of got wise to, and maybe I ought to look at the dark side a little bit. And so I'm a hybrid, right? So I play like Battlefield 6 is on PC for me now, and we got a great PC. It runs awesome, but I'm still controller, right? I never.
Yeah, me too.
I grew up controller. I always played controller, and mouse and keyboard freaks me out, man. And I get like forced opportunities to learn on that stuff because I played DayZ, And DayZ, you can play DayZ on console with a controller, but if you want to play it on PC, there are some like custom mappings I guess you can do, but committed, like when I switched over from console to PC for DayZ, I was like, I'd learn keyboard and mouse. And it's been like 2 years and it's still a struggle.
Hey,
I made the switch when I built my first one, and I've never went back to controller really.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do play first-person shooters with controller. That's just too fast-moving for me. That's just not an adjustment I'm ready to make. But yeah, I definitely hybrid that for sure.
Yeah. I think whatever you grew up doing is probably what you're comfortable with, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
What do you think stands out? Battlefield versus Call of Duty, of course, the tale as old as time. Like, what makes Battlefield stand out so much in your opinion?
well, I think it's grounded closer in reality, right? I remember the first time I played a Battlefield title was Battlefield Bad Company 2. And I was always a Call of Duty guy before then. You know, I played the Call of Duties, the World at War, the Modern Warfare 2, the original ones, all that stuff. And I liked that stuff. I was good at that. And before all of that, it was Halo. Like Halo,
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
you know, and before Halo, it was GoldenEye, right? So that's where
You're like describing me right now.
that's where the shooter started for me was GoldenEye, and then it grew from there. But so the first time I played Company 2, I was like, wow, this is so much harder, and it's so much more like strategy based, and it's just more realistic. It's easier to die, all that stuff, and that's what I like about these Battlefield titles is, you know, bigger maps. You know, the way you move around the map is really important, and the way you know set up for cover is really important. It's a more complete thought on what you're doing rather than just pointing and shooting, which is fun too, but it ain't my thing.
What you talk about 4 being your favorite. We are seeing some maps returned from like older Battlefield,
Yeah.
maybe Battlefield 6. What are some maps that you would like to see get brought back over from 4 or like an older Battlefield?
Zavod 311, man. Let's get it back.
Yes, sir.
Man, Zavod's one of my favorite maps. I have so many good memories of running around on that. So my gameplay type is conquest, right? Conquest large or however you want to. And I'm competitive. And so when you're playing conquest, right, whoever's got the most points wins. So I'm always trying to run around and take objectives. You know, I don't sit there and try to hold them once I got them. I want somebody to take it so I can come take it back and get some more points. So I'm pretty good at running around the map and getting places quick and getting, you know, big flanks and go in and get that objective that's closest to their HQ and all that stuff. And Zavod's just really good for that. It's got a little bit of close range right in the middle, right? Like everybody bunches up in the middle. And if you like to play up close and have those confrontations, they're all there. But then you can get some long range stuff going on, and it's very strategic. And I love that map.
I feel like you run the AEK.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm a DMR guy. I like a good mid range setup. So it was RFB was my main go to in Battlefield 4. Yeah, just give me like
I like the Scar.
yeah. The Scar's been really good to me in Battlefield 6 recently. So
Really, I don't use it much on there.
yeah.
I
Got
haven't
power.
played 6 as much. I think Jordan's like way ahead of me on 6. I got kind of late to start 6. I pre-ordered it, but I kind of didn't play it at the start, and I'm kind of making like a late return to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zavad would be, or sorry, we never pronounce it right.
Well, I don't know if I'm saying it right, so you could be teaching me something right now. Yes. Yeah, man. Give me a light machine gun and turn me loose in locker.
Yes, sir. Give me the MG4 on locker.
Yeah, 240B. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite vehicle to run around in on Battlefield?
Oh man, I like an LAV, APC, whatever you want to call it, depending on what it is. But like a mix of speed and maneuverability, but with some good protection and some good firepower. Feel like for the conquest style gameplay of like trying to get place to place, that works really good. Of course.
I feel like me and Josh do pretty well with the attack chopper.
Yeah.
Oh god. If you see us dead in spawn, you know it's about to go down. We're sitting there spamming that chopper.
You gotta have a good team to make the chopper really effective. I think you get
until you get one guy that won't leave the seat as passenger.
Yeah. Dude, Have you ever seen those? Have you ever seen those YouTube cartoons called Battlefield Friends?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
they're pretty funny, man.
Oh man.
I gotta shout out the motorcycle though. So man, I made a living for like 6 months with C4 strapped to the front of a motorcycle
Yeah.
on like Silk Road. It's just so big and open. You get going so fast on a motorcycle so quick.
There's plenty of tanks to blow up on that map.
Yep.
It's like 6 tanks per team. It's
Yep.
insane.
Yeah. It was I feel like I was most hated for quite a while for doing that
You know
stuff.
what? I was glad we didn't hop on and like you just be like, yeah, I'm just I'm a big AA player.
Yeah.
Someone would have like lost it.
Let them guys fly around. They aren't doing too much.
The spawn AA will take care of any problems.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, I want to leave a little bit for a later episode, but I want to hit you with our rapid fire questions to round out this episode. This is just some questions to not put very much thought into, just real quick.
Sure.
Let's start out with your favorite engine platform.
LS3.
Not a no-brainer.
LS3, man.
All right. What is your favorite cam sound?
The more overlap, the better. Choppy, lumpy, but natural. So I said choppy, but I meant lumpy. Keep it real. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Turbo or blower? I know you're a big NA guy, but
I'd put a centrifugal on before I did a turbo. So
I mean, your favorite gaming console generation?
Oh man, I have some really good memories of OG Xbox. I've liked all of them since, but that was special times.
I love that. Most underrated.
Underrated. I know this was in the prep, and I still didn't have anything for this. I haven't come up with a good answer for that, so I'm gonna pass on that one.
You're all good. One mod every enthusiast should do.
Years.
What about short throw shifter? That's mine.
Oh man, I mean, I think it depends on the platform. If you got a 5th Gen 1 LE, it's already got a nice shifter in it. Don't mess with that. But yeah, some of them. But cam or not cam, but gears or converter. If it's an automatic car.
Oh, converter, yeah, for sure. What is one mod people waste too much money on?
The one that doesn't fit their combination. So whatever that might be, stop spending money on stuff that doesn't work with the rest of your stuff.
Probably what I got.
Uh-oh. We better connect offline.
This might go without saying, but best sounding V.
I mean, I'm a big LS guy. Can't get away from it. But the 80s and 90s 5-liter Fords are tough to beat too.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
That's a sweetheart. That's a sweetheart of a sounding motor.
What is your favorite Battlefield map? All of them, any of them.
All of them, man. We talked about Zavod, but Parcel Storm, man. That's a good one.
Naval Seas map.
Yeah,
we
man.
need naval in Battlefield 6.
Yeah, we do. It's coming.
One gaming franchise you wish would return.
Well, is returning, but I'm looking forward to our next Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy to say. It's been such a break.
I know, it feels like it's gone, right? Like it's been a decade, right? And so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, last question. One automotive opinion you'll never back down.
Don't fear the gear.
I love that. That needs to be on a t-shirt.
It does.
All right. Give me some shout outs, Andrew. Where can people find GPI, socials, your stuff? Just throw them all out there.
Yeah, so definitely go to GuatneyPerformance.com for GPI, and we've got a YouTube, and then you search Andrew Cammer, you'll find my YouTube. It's got a like Andrew Cammer and some number, I don't remember what it is, but you just search for that, you'll find it. And there's some content on there, but it's getting kind of old. I just ought to brush it up a little bit, but that's it. Hit me up on Facebook. We'll take care of your combination needs. If GPI can help you out with it, we'll get it done.
Yes, sir. Guys, be looking out for future collaborations with GPI, and of course, watch their camshaft go into my LS as that comes here in the next month or so. And again, thank you, Andrew, for joining us tonight. And with that being said, guys, we will catch you in the next one.